Yeah. And he's like, there are rich teams, there are poor teams, then there's 50 feet of crap, then there's us. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, this is a movie I'm gonna love. Welcome everyone to another episode of Balking Points, the baseball show for the average fan. I am on location in an undisclosed area, and I'm here and joined tonight by You Are Killing Me Smalls. Welcome, Killing Me Smalls.
Hello.
Uh, so it is winter, sir, and in baseball, there's not a lot going on in the winter months.
Yes.
And I
Although
don't.
I think we should hold one moment because they did announce today who's making the Hall of Fame.
Oh yes,
Uh, Scott Rowland.
Scott Rowland and Todd Hamilton, right? Or
No, he did
um,
not make it.
oh, he
Todd
didn't
Hilton.
make it. Todd
He
Hilton.
got 72.2%,
What do you need? 70.
75.
Oh,
So he should probably get in next year, I would think.
next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So one
congrats to Mr.
person.
Rowland.
Yeah. Congrats to him. One person this year making the Hall.
Yeah. Well,
So.
what Fred McGriff got in with um the other committee.
Oh, with the other one, I
Yeah.
didn't see that one.
Yeah, that was a few months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the big baseball news. I know there's been some minor trades and some other things,
Yeah.
but nothing until next month when we really get excited for when pitchers and catchers show up for spring
Yes.
training. But in the meantime, with the winter months, I typically enjoy watching more movies, as I know many people do. And so, what better topic to discuss right now than our favorite baseball movies?
Yes.
And I think it should be, throw some comments down below on your favorite baseball movies as we
Because
get
there are a
started.
lot of them.
There are a ton of them. This was a hard, like, how many did you do? Like, how many?
I
Uh,
mean, I got five that like
yeah,
really stand out for me, but
I
I
did
got three
five as
other
well.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have picked 20 more, it feels like.
Oh man. Oh yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot.
So you want to go first?
Sure.
What do you got? What's your first one, sir? And I'm
We
sure some
start
of
that.
ours,
Now
uh,
did we rank them?
I kind of did, but I
I think
think it
I kind of
was,
did too.
but it was kind of by accident, if anything.
Well, yeah. So my
So,
number five
yep. Okay. Five. We'll do that.
was Major League.
Okay. Interesting. That's a little higher on the list for me.
Oh really?
So,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if you'd even have it on there.
Oh, yeah. It's I've seen
I
that
love that movie.
movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie so much. I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about, you have Tom Berenger, you have Wesley Snipes, you have Charlie Sheen. I mean,
Yeah, you got
just
all
all
these
the,
guys that are this what from the first one was from 1989. So
yeah, just
and yeah,
everything in that movie is classic from
it was like
the,
over the top, but still
yeah,
like it's still a good baseball movie.
it's a great baseball movie. I think there's a couple of scenes that always stick out in that movie for me, and then
Hmm.
the one is um Wesley Snipes, and they do the American Express commercial,
Oh
and
yeah,
he slides in and he's like, "Don't steal home without
I'm
it,"
still home without it. Yeah.
that one, and then the one where they're in spring training, and Roger Dorn is very upset that he had to dive for a baseball, and he
Oh
pulled out his contract and threw it down, and he peed on. I mean, that's just a great scene.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of them in both of those movies, really.
Yeah, the first two. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think they did some others after that,
Yeah, they
but
did some
yeah, I
other ones that
didn't. But
obviously
yeah,
they shouldn't have done, but you
yeah.
know.
All right. So my number five, sir, is the rookie.
Okay, yeah,
With Dennis
Dennis,
Quaid.
Mr. Quaid. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that movie. I probably watch it, a couple of times every year.
sure.
Um, it's
That's a
Jimmy
good feel
Morrison.
good based
It
on
is.
true story
It
thing.
is.
So
it's just, it's definitely Disneyed, but
Oh God, yeah.
it's a fun movie. Like,
Hmm.
you have a bad day, go watch The Rookie. You're gonna feel better about it
Hmm.
yourself, and things
Yeah,
like that.
it's one of those feel good ones that make
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, and it's a great story. Jimmy
yep.
Morris, and gets to go play for Tampa for a couple of years, and
Hmm.
so yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
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 just good,
it is.
just good.
All right, you gonna
Cool.
go number
Number
four?
four.
Yes.
Number four is For
Oh,
Love of the Game.
for love of the game. That was
I think that's
boy.
only because I'm a Tigers fan.
So I had a hard time not putting that on my list. That was probably
Yeah,
my number
yeah.
six. Like
I mean, really,
literally
like Kevin Costner will be on everybody's list like 30 times.
for what? I don't have a Costner movie on my list.
Really?
Not as
Wow.
my favorites. I love those movies, but
Sure.
there's other ones I've watched more.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um, but for the love of the game is a lot of people's not their favorite. I mean, because when you're talking about Bull Durham and Field of Dreams, those movies are hard to compete with,
Hmm.
But for love of the game is such a great movie. You have John C. Riley as catcher, which is just awesome. Like he was made to
Yeah.
play catcher. You know, uh, Kevin Costner throwing the perfect game, and it's all in Detroit. How much more can
All
you?
Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for a Tigers fan. That's that's the one.
Hmm. I like it. I like it. So my number four, sir, is The Natural.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Robert
saw that on
Redford.
several lists.
Robert Redford. I That might have been the first baseball movie I remember watching.
Okay. Yeah.
1984. Robert Redford, Glenn Close. It just this. Based off a book, just this fun story of this guy who was going to be the greatest baseball player ever, then went away and then came back in his later 30s and just had one great season, and just a fun story all
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. And you get these good actors in
Oh yeah,
that kind of movie, you know.
I mean Robert Redford is great in just about everything he does, and then
Mhm.
you throw in Glenn Close in it, and it's like, yeah, this is an awesome movie.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
So,
Can't go wrong with that.
all
Uh,
right.
we're up to three already.
I know
Number three.
we're doing
That's
through
all
this
right.
quick. What do you got?
Uh, Mine is Rookie of the Year.
Oh, what a great movie.
Yes, your Cubbies.
Yes, my Cubbies.
I mean
Um,
that for us, it came out at the right time. We're both what 10 years old.
mhm.
What else, if you like baseball? What else as a 10-year-old would you want to do?
Right.
Have
Then
that
go
happen to you? You go to a
right.
game, and then all of a sudden this happens, and you're going to be part of your favorite team. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's. I mean, I still watch that.
Oh yeah,
Still watch.
absolutely. Yeah, it's one of the best. Yeah, it's one of those,
Just a really
again,
good.
feel good movie,
Hmm.
like The Rookie, fun
Little Gary
story.
Busey.
Love, who doesn't love some Gary Busey? Those 90 Gary Busey movies are just great.
Yes. Yeah, I mean it's again like it had more to do with than just baseball, even though it was a kids movie.
Hmm.
Uh, there was a story that really hit home for somebody our age
Yeah.
at the
Yeah, and I
time.
mean, and I think too, was that 93?
Yes, sir.
Baseball was in a weird time frame in
Yeah, because
93.
like the strike was getting close.
94 was the strike, and so, and it was hard to stay a baseball fan. I remember the 95, 96
Hmm.
season, and then until the summer of home runs, in
Yeah.
'98, baseball was kind of
It
down.
was in a little funk. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you had good movies like this from the '90s,
Hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely
Well,
one of
well, I'm guessing by the name, and we can save this because it might be a little higher on your list, but because my number three is The Sandlot.
we can save that.
Okay,
We can
well,
save
we'll
it.
just we'll just save it because and then
Fair enough.
actually, yeah, and then
Well,
I
you go
will
to
actually
number
just
two.
my
Go number
number
two.
two was my number two was Major League, which we already
Okay.
talked about.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
I
My
will.
number two.
Yeah, go
Okay, go
ahead.
ahead. You
No,
go
no, no.
ahead.
I was just gonna say one last thing on Major League. Another thing is I remember when I became old enough to watch that movie. That
Hmm.
became like the baseball movie I then watched a ton of.
Sure.
I mean, just
It's
I
got
think I
enough,
was like,
adult humor in it
yeah,
that you can actually, enjoy it a little bit more.
hmm but yeah, I think I must have watched that from like 13 or 14, still to this day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, you're number two, sir.
Number two, Mr. Costner again, Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Hmm.
That's a hard one to keep off the list.
It is. I mean,
I mean, if you build it, they will
I
come.
like yes. I mean, how many times do you hear that still?
Right. Well, they have the Iowa game.
Yes, they have the Iowa game now, which is
Mhm.
really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
I would like to do that game.
but just the names in that movie too, and
Hmm
like the premise behind it. The those forgotten about players and team.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah. Shoeless Joe Jackson.
yeah, yeah, a guy that was cast aside by baseball.
There's
Um,
a lot of interesting stories, and just a little side
mhm,
thing on when you talk about Shoeless Joe, because there, there's still some people thinking that he didn't even really know what was going on.
mhm. Yeah, like nobody's gonna know now.
Right. Nobody's going to know now. There's like rumors that he couldn't read or write.
Hmm.
So he had to like get his wife to sign things for him. So half the time, like, so yeah, I mean, and these are all rumors. I'm not saying any of
Sure,
it's true,
sure.
but there's like, there's all of this around that name. And then when you have this movie, of course, it's just even that much more. So,
Yeah, because people kind of forgotten about
mhm.
that happening, and so it kind of portrays him in a slightly better light.
Well, what year was that? 1989.
89, 89.
But what year was the Black Sox with
Ooh,
Shoeless Joe?
that was early.
Hold on,
That was
Wall.
back, I want to
Uh,
say 20s.
uh, Black Sox, looking it up. 1919.
Okay, yeah.
So it was over 100 years ago now.
Hmm.
So yeah, that yeah. So but even then it was 70 years compared to
Hmm.
when that movie was, made.
Yeah, so
So
like
that's
most people had no clue about. I mean,
right.
true baseball fans obviously knew about it, but
hmm
the general movie watcher that was going to go watch this movie because Kevin Costner's in it, because he was
How,
huge at that time.
how many people do you think started watching baseball more because of that movie?
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Like, just have a fondness for baseball,
Hmm. Well, I
you
mean, you
know.
look at now, like you said, they have that game in Iowa now.
hmm
I mean, that movie was out 30 years ago,
35, yeah,
so like it still has a place in people's memory.
right.
And like so some of these guys that are playing in it now aren't even alive.
Mhm. And we just talked
So
about for like 1 second, like about how amazing James Earl Jones is in anything he
oh yeah,
does.
yeah.
But then when you talk about like, I mean, when
Hmm.
when you get to hear his voice in a rich baseball setting too,
Hmm.
it's it's next level to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now that you say that name, I realize that he was in my number one and number two movie.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Uh-huh. Yes.
You
Yeah.
know. Hmm.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and we'll do your number
So
one because it's
obviously, number one was The Sandlot.
yep, that was my number three. So
I
um
mean,
where to begin with the Sandlot? We could talk about an hour on this movie. Like we probably quote this whole movie,
well,
you
I mean,
know.
I put it up as my name today, so.
Right, right. You're killing me, small. I mean, that line right there.
I mean, how many times do you keep on hearing that now?
Hmm. Oh,
You still
to
hear
this
it.
day. To this day. I mean, I call my nephew Smalls
There you go.
because of that, because we watched the Sandlot together.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing as the Rookie of the Year came out the
Hmm.
same year, and same reasoning behind why I have it so high on my list because like we were that age.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I know it was depicting a time well before then, but the story still rings true because still talking about all these kids playing
Yeah. I mean, I
playing
remember
baseball
doing
together.
that. I remember
Hmm.
doing that as a kid, getting the glove
Hmm.
on, going out to the field, playing ball and things like that. You
Yeah.
know, but when you talk about just the memory of it, like I remember wanting to be Benny the Jet Rodriguez and, and get myself a pair of PF flyers guaranteed to make you run faster and jump higher. I mean,
I
there
mean, they went out
is,
and get the shoot just to, run faster than the dog.
right, right. Yeah. You had to get the shoes to run faster than the dog, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, who would have thought to use a Babe Ruth baseball to play in a big game? You're like, that
That's
just,
great. Just,
yeah.
just such a good movie.
I mean, everything in that movie is quotable. So,
Hmm.
you want a s'more? How can I have s'more something if I hadn't had anything yet? Just all this,
All that
these
stuff.
little,
And
yeah.
all the, them all going to the
Hmm.
fair.
Hmm. Oh yeah, the fair scene, and they're all doing the
Hmm.
chewing tobacco, and they're
Hmm.
throwing up, and then
Yep.
it's just,
Yep. Going
yeah,
to the pool.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
All that
everything,
stuff.
yeah, it makes you long for it in a way,
Hmm.
like
It's
the,
like a simpler
yeah,
time. That's all you had to worry about was,
mhm,
scrape coin up to go buy a baseball.
yeah, yeah. Good choice, sir. Good choice.
Oh yeah.
My
Yeah.
my number one maybe not be everybody's number one, maybe nobody's number one, but it is mine because I he's one of my favorite actors, and I love the logistics of the baseball scene and the behind the scenes of it so much that I Moneyball
Okay.
is just one of my favorite movies.
I
Brett,
watched that a couple months ago. I'm like, man, this is really good.
first of all, you have Brad Pitt,
Hmm.
and Jonah Hill and Chris
Yeah,
Pratt
Chris
was in
Pratt.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just all these, Philip Seymour Hoffman was in it.
Hmm.
And, you know, may he rest in peace. I love him as an actor, but just you had all these great components of these actors in it. And then, um,
And on top of that,
there's
it's a true story.
true story, and there's so many great quotable lines in it. My particular favorite line in it is when they're all in that boardroom scene, and they're trying to discuss what they're doing, and Brad Pitt's just like nah nah nah, and he's like, there are rich teams, there are poor teams, then there's 50 feet of crap, then there's us. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, this is a movie I'm gonna love,
Hmm.
or when
Yeah,
he
and like
snaps.
it had like his entire backstory too that was true.
Mm-hmm.
Being a
Yeah.
player that was supposed to be somebody like really, really good and just didn't work out and got into this and wasn't really doing. that great.
Hmm.
Um, and then hitting it big.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I love that scene where he calls, Jonah Hill's character, and he's like, "Would you have drafted me?" Come on, would you have drafted me? And it's like, wow, what a conversation to have.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
I can't go wrong with that one either. That's
yeah,
really
it's a great
really
movie. Any honorable mentions before we wrap up here, sir?
good. I think I'd be remiss to not put Bull Durham on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that's widely regarded as one of the better baseball
Yeah,
movies.
hundred
My
percent.
wife my wife approves.
I would be remiss, and my girlfriend approves of A League of Their Own.
That is also that was the next one on my list. You
I
know,
mean,
that ensemble cast in that movie is,
perfect.
hmm
Yeah.
and also true-ish story.
Hmm. And Tom Hanks just,
Hmm.
I mean, there's so many scenes in that where the way he acted, laughing, and yeah,
Yes,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, um, but yeah, that's
I
all I
had
could
one
like.
more.
Okay,
Yeah,
what do you got?
42.
Oh, 42 is a good one
Yeah,
too.
Chadwick Boseman's portrayal of Jackie Robinson is
Yeah, I
like,
forgot about that movie
um,
altogether. Yeah, Chadwick Boseman, man, was so good. Very sad to lose him as an
yeah,
actor.
yeah. Well, you figure, that was in 2013. He
Hmm.
passed away 2020, 2021. Was the
2020,
last one.
yeah, 2020, I think it
So
was.
like he already had the disease then, and he's doing
Yeah,
all this stuff.
I know. Man, a great actor. A great
Hmm.
movie.
Like, I mean, that was amazing portrayal of him,
Hmm.
and I'm sure that
Abs-
he was very proud to be able to portray him as and like who he was.
yeah, absolutely.
So,
I mean, yeah, that's a big role to play, and a very important
hmm
one when we talk about baseball and the
you
history
talk
of
about like
baseball. Yeah,
the only number that's retired for every single team.
yeah, yeah,
So
as it should
it's a
be.
big deal. Oh, absolutely,
Yeah, as it
absolutely.
as as it should be. So, yeah, no, good pick. Totally forgot about that. I blanked on that one.
Now
So
there's
there's a
them
lot of
out there.
baseball. There's a lot of baseball movies. Yeah.
61's another one.
I
You
do love
know,
61.
hmm um, there's a bunch of them from back. Pride of the Yankees from like
Hmm.
50s or something like that.
You had the Bad News Bears.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of baseball movies out there. So you got your favorites. We'll make sure that we
yes,
put our
comments
put
down
our
there.
yeah, put some comments down there, and I'll at least toss our number ones up there. And what's your number one favorite baseball movie? The one you go back to all the time. Um, and please like and subscribe. We're still trying to get
Yes, put the little wherever
yeah,
the arrows are at.
yeah, the buttons and things. And we're still trying to get Scotty internationally famous. He's one
We're getting
step
there.
closer. We're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, I mean, we're getting some views on our shorts and things like that. We just need some more of
Yep.
those people to subscribe. So,
Yeah, yeah, we'll throw
uh,
more of those out there,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but
and we'll come across with some more crazy facts later.
yeah, yeah, that was yeah. Well, I was thinking about that. I saw this, sidebar. If you
Hmm.
haven't seen the short out there, I'm starting these little crazy uh facts things, and I saw this book in this bookstore I go to that they do these huge discounts, and I found this one for $3. Actually, my girlfriend found it, and I so we picked it up, and I was like, okay, what could be like the craziest fact I could start with? And I thought about it for a second. I'm like, oh, this would be fun. So
Awesome.
check out the short to find out what the crazy fact was, and I'll try to post a couple of those every week. And
There you go.
Scotty keeps some news and some other facts up to date for us as he bashes the Twins in other places.
Yep. The Mets and
And the Mets and the
their
Twins.
wheelchair.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We're getting banned in New York. I can see it.
Oh, good, man. Maybe we'll get more subscribers in other states then.
Oh boy. Anyway.
All right, folks. Until the next time, batter up.